Here on Jonyp Uncensored, it's Jonyp with director Exage.
Welcome everybody back to Jonyp Uncensored. I'm your main host Jonyp, and sitting besides me today, the duck of RFL, Exage. How are we doing today, man?
Lovely, man. Thank you for having me.
The man of the step up, finally having you here. Thank you for wanting to come on the show. You were very happy of me accepting your invitation.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here in general because like I've seen the episodes and everything and how people are like talking about their stories, what things are happening in RFL and everything. I just wanted to be a part of it. I liked it, so thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you now, Exage. You've been a part of the RFL for a long time, basically since the start. So I'm gonna start off with more serious questions, and one of the biggest drama, if not the biggest dramas of the whole RFL, Kevin and Ronaldo. Do you have anything to say about that whole situation still, of that we might not know?
For both of them, I would say, I mean, it's a very sensitive topic for us, considering like, Kevin has been someone that has been also here from like, you could say pretty much the start. He was one of the first testers around within the community, and he was a very functional member as well. It obviously kind of sucks knowing that he's gone to the dark side, I would say, with his actions, but And then there's Ronaldo, which is like I would say the ultimate criticizer of RFL at that point, because you know, no matter what we do, there is always going to be times when you can't appeal to everyone. I'm pretty sure of that, you know, because there will be situations where things that might not go right, people might not like, and Ronaldo was, I would say, a very heavy advocate of those times, and you know, just constantly running his mouth regarding those situations. But I obviously have nothing regarding him. He was doing what pretty much all the time someone with happiness regarding situations would pretty much do. He was complaining, he was making noise, and people were hearing him. What Ronaldo did wrong, in my opinion, was that he voiced himself too much to a point where he had to, well, say, okay, I'm not participating anymore. And then look how that turned out. He's already back here. He was already interested in rejoining, like, just before it began, like the season began. But I think he's also understanding the parts where it's just like, that he does not need to, well, just, you know, be frustrated so much that he has to leave. Kevin, on the other hand, I wish him nothing but the best. But this is just, you know, Exage the person speaking, not the Exage the staff member speaking.
Yeah.
Regarding the matter, I'm still alright with Kevin. You know, there's obviously times where I was vocal about him too, because there was things that I disliked. I'm definitely could say like he's been over to the dark side of the things. Does this mean he can't change in the future? It depends, obviously. But I would say definitely not the best track record to leave around in RFL, considering when you have that stamp on you, which is like a cheater stamp, and when you're recognized with it, it's just gonna be like, oh, this guy has a past here before, and like, you know, not a good one as well. So yeah, I don't know if one day Kevin will ever return. Maybe might not. I can't predict the future, but I'm definitely confident when if he does come back, there will be a lot of noise and there will be a lot of unhappy people.
Yeah.
So definitely that's the best way I could describe the situation.
Now, that's the biggest drama, at least I know of. Is there, considering you've been here since the start, like I've already said, was there any drama, anything very controversial that was bigger than this, or anything close to it, either regarding just one person, two, even three, four?
I mean, I could talk about that, like in back in the day when Noel season, you would say pretty much
Mhm.
the Hungarian guy, currently a referee
Yeah.
at the moment. He used to be a staff member for RFL as well, and RF included. He had his own personal drama with the chairman, Flacco, and it didn't turn out to be so well. It was more so about how um, it's a sensitive topic, but I would say a heavy argument between both sides, and it did not go so well for Noel. And that was all the time
Yeah.
when things were just getting started fully. Like we were actually on the way to, you would say, becoming the RF that we know, and then there was RFL, and I would say he was like that transition and that drama happened in between those times. So like I would say last year's, maybe not even last year's, like almost 2020, like end of 2023, 2024, just beginning of the year. But yeah, there has been that drama. There's been a couple more as well. Like I would say, cheater scandals. You know how they took and how he was approached. There's so many. Like RFL is always a drama zone. I would say. Like there is no time to rest for yourself. And as a staff member, it's a very unrelaxing environment, I could say. Like I could state this as well. The hardest thing in the world is to deal with people. No matter what you do, because you can't outsmart someone. There's obviously going to be times where you would think like you would know something, but then there's someone that is always better than you in knowing things.
Yeah.
Regarding that, I could say like for dramas and everything, there has been times I knew more things, and the way I handled them was just directly. I would just go public, and you know that's how pretty much the step up thing was born and everything. And it became, I would say, it got embedded into the culture of RFL. Like it would be a common thing, like when it's just out there and people would go, oh, it's just like the spams and everything. I appreciate the love and support and like how this really grew into community's own thing. I would say pretty much got embedded into the society within RFL. But that's just how dramas are in RFL and RF in general as well. There's so many dramas, but like off the top of my head, like the I would say Kevin and Ronaldo one is arguably the most recent one that has been very big, like way big, that it involved pretty much all the community united as one, and they wanted Kevin gone.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo was like the leader of, like, he was the flag holder of that rebellion, I would say, against them. So yeah, it's very possible like to see more dramas in the future as well. Like you can't know what will happen next. Every day we wake up, there's someone new banned, or like someone that's no longer with us. So I would say RFL is a lovely place, but it's very unstable in that matter, where we just can't take some time off and like just enjoy the moment that we have.
Yeah, just every stepping up one person at a time every day now. Back to that theme of Ronaldo and Kazan, just because of a specific question. You've probably seen their answers on whether RFL is an organized league, correct? Do you think they're just correct, or have you been working on just making it even more organized? Do you have your own opinion about that, staff or person?
I mean, after I was given the responsibility of creating the staff team from scratch, so like after I received that responsibility, my objective has been trying to make things as equal and as even as possible. So like the staff crew that is currently working under me is been absolutely phenomenal. I love them, and like they're doing their jobs perfectly. There's obviously parts from the old squad that I also miss as well. I mean, when I do my job, pretty much I try to not make enemies at all, and like I still miss like the old crew as well, like Tele, Itachi, Noel at the time used to be lovely friends. They were really good people, but like obviously we all have our own things. things may not go right, but obviously when there's a job to do, there's a job to do. But other than that, outside of that, we're all good friends, pretty much. We can talk to each other, discuss, and we have spent so much time together. Like played games, spent hours talking. It's been very very lovely time. And like for the staff crew, I would say, yes, we are organized, but definitely we could be better. There could be better things. There's no like a limit to perfection. There will always be
Things you could do better.
things that we could do better, exactly. Things that we could change up around here, of which I'm planning to eventually in the future as well. Like, for example, this current staff model is based off of the pyramid system, I would say, where I divided the regions of the world, so like Asia, Europe, and Americas, where I tried to assign one leader to each region, and they all work under, like, there's 3 other employees that work under them, and when things are not solved, they come to me. So that's just how the staff currently has been working. And then other that, there's just like the people that are above me in the limitations. So like there's Cammy, Jamie, etc. Jamie as police pen, Dorito, Greasy, etc., and so on. But yeah, pretty much the story of RF is just based around how 8 people decide to come and make a great project all to come together precisely, instead of trying to avoid conversational wording, pretty much. But yeah, 8 people deciding to say, okay, we want to make a project, united as one, and that's how it all began. And then ever since then, we have been trying to organize things, to make there like a system have its place within our game, our plans in general. So yeah, I would say we are organized, but we are definitely needing, our own things as well in the future as well. There's always room for improvement, and that could be discussed in the future as well. So yeah.
That's great. I think we all do see the work you do. That's all the serious questions for me. So now we'll be getting to know you a bit more and your influence on RFL. And I think one of your biggest influences is exactly what you said, the step up. When was the first time, if you remember, how did the infamous step up comment start? How did it come to life?
So basically, Greasy has his own as well. So he used to call, like Rise to people that he was calling for interrogation, or pretty much needed them in a ticket for problem solving, for example. And I was like, okay, he does this, so why shouldn't I, have my own thing? Obviously, I had to think of things myself, and like, something that would be very easy to call, someone, because he would use Rise and everything, or has this tribal moniker that he uses commonly. So pretty much, Step Up just was born out of I would say just a few arguments where mostly in fan leagues as well, when we were monitoring fan leagues far more often before RFL was a thing. And I used to have that wording in fan leagues as well, except it didn't get that much of attention in the first place, because it was just considered a basic thing. But then obviously the people involved with the community and etc. Took that to the next level, where it just became like a cult phenomenon, you could say, and it just like got embedded into the society ever since. And I'm proud to be the guy that's just does the step ups and everything. So and I definitely appreciate the support from the community, and for like making my life far better, because I feel acknowledged, I feel valued, even more with the community and RFL in general. But like, and for that, I'm very grateful for everyone involved, and like I appreciate their support and everything. But yeah, the people that made Step Up was not me. It was pretty much the community itself. So that's who I could appreciate for.
Yeah, now the Step Up has become even one of the big parts of RFL. You were talking about you. I've been saying since the start. You have been here since the start of RFL. How did you even meet the people that you've met, the higher ups to start this project? How did it all start even before RFL?
All right. So here's the how I got involved. I would say. So I would say I know Cami from his old projects, ECL. He used to run that perfectly as well. I mean, this I would say that at its core, where RFL lies, ECL lies heavily as well. It's very very heavily influenced.
Mhm.
You see how we have this Sunday league leveling up kind of things where like stadiums
Yeah.
are moving over time. There's squads, the match day experience before the games. We all have our own fun times, obviously. That is very heavily based off of ECL, where me and Cami met for the very first time. And I have been a media personnel within his league at the time. I would say because he was a chairman there.
Mhm.
We were enjoying ourselves, but definitely where my biggest break came from is at the time and pretty much very commonly used is PRS. PRS was where I've been, reached to a certain level in community as well at the time, not now. Definitely, I would say I am regarded as like a rebel, like an outcast at this point. For turning my back on them, I would say. But they didn't need me anyway. But nor does RFL in the future. I'm not too sure. I'm 25,
No.
man.
I think I mean only if you leave, but I think everybody will dearly miss you if you do. At least I will.
Thank you for your. But yeah, I have been gone before, and I've seen how things were handled, and it was a struggle. I mean, I'm saying struggle, but I'm just talking from the things that I've saw as a my perspective. I can't know like what has been on the inside while I was gone. But yeah, after some time, definitely, and when the stars aligned, I would say as well. It definitely was a good idea to come back and to make the community happy, and be available to support everyone's needs and be someone of use. I would say so that I'm still grateful because definitely RFL has been a mentally repairing platform. I would say for me. I've gone through many things personally in my life, like depressive times, not so easy times. I would say work, normal personal life. Things were not going so well, and RFL definitely helped out with just bringing that little bit of joy into my life when I'm down and I'm just feeling bad, and the community would just give me that extra boost because I'm just trying to be the guy that helps out everyone, even though I might not be able to just keep everyone happy for a reason, but I'm trying to do whatever I can to make things right. Community. Back to the topic, of course, because we're just kind of everywhere.
Don't you worry.
But about how it all began, I would say me, Flacco, and Saitama used to have our own little game project that wasn't regarding to football, but was regarding MMA, and that's how our interests began. Because at the time, all the way back in 2014 and 15, I had a small MMA project called OFC with a close friend of mine, and we were trying to run our own projects, be successful with it. And then one day, Flacco, me, and Saitama were also kind of close, but not so fully close until there was this project of real boxing, which was also a thing. It came to a reality.
Yeah.
So at the time, we were, I was investing, trying to make things work for the MMA game, of which we're also planning still that could have a revival.
It's still alive even 10 years later, if it was in 2014.
It is still alive.
Now 11.
Except our focus shifted towards RFL with a major, because differences, I would say you can't draw too much attention with just MMA or fighting
Yeah.
sports in general.
Exactly.
And then when you compare it to football, football is global. It's almost everywhere, and that's how the community pretty much grew as well. But yeah, it's a project of ours that we're, I would say, more towards more morely me that is heavily invested, and I'm willing to make that a reality in the future. So yes, as I would say, a real franchise, like the franchise that I would say pretty much, we want to extend to other games in the future as well. As soon as we're certain, okay, real football has been a success, a hit, we want to try new things as well. But one day in the future we could. Obviously, depends on how the plannings go, etc. But
Mhm.
yeah, the original story began with me, Flacco, Saitama, all in one place for an MMA project, and that's how it took off. But for the rest, like for me meeting Cami, for example, I have known Cami for from the ECL times. Tele
Mhm.
also was a part of it, so Tele, I could say I known him from there as well. Burezi, I have seen him for the first time when we began the project, and same with Jamie as well.
Yep.
So I still love them as well. They're great people. They're lovely if you get to know them.
Mhm.
Like the entire staff crew is just lovely people in general. I would pretty much say we are being branded as the bad guys within the community because we have the power or something like that. But normally it's just like chill people that are trying to some of them some of us in the working part of the community, I would say, are making their livelihoods off of RFL. I mean, Cami
Mhm.
pays his monthly rent from the money that comes into from RFL.
Oh wow.
Yeah, for, Jamie used to pay his gas money from RFL savings as well. So
Mhm.
we all made very much a livelihood from this game. Even though I work two jobs, include I would say this is a job as well, but like I have a separate job where I actually make also another money income for myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, RFL in general pretty much has been an environment where we make our livelihoods, but we want to enjoy ourselves as well,
Mhm.
and that's how it has become. So yeah, it's a project like, okay, we want to have fun. We want to bring an idea to a community where everyone was feeling okay. We're playing the standard R6, same tools, same things, pretty much. The generic standard. This needed a new thing. We needed to ignite that spark,
Yeah.
and I think RF on its own has become more than a spike. I would say instead of igniting something, it has become more of a bonfire. I would say,
Mhm.
comparing to how it grew, because we knew it could be good, but it definitely, you know, it's having its own problems, but it's definitely growing. It's
Mhm.
on its way to become something even more stronger in the future. I can't know when we will grow into something even larger than what we have at the moment, but
Mhm.
we're currently working on many things to just appeal to everyone, be the difference makers in the in a, I would say, football community, and if we can in the future, sports community as well.
Mhm. One big community just guided through sports. Honestly, you were talking about the staff being seen as the bad guys. I actually hadn't seen that. That's interesting, but I guess I'd understand where that point comes from. Now, you were talking about that. A small question is cited. You can give a short answer. Does ECL still work as it did, or is it just
It
gone?
does. It does from what I remember. I think it does. But more so from what I remember. I'm not a part of it anymore, but
Mhm.
maybe I could ask Cami, of course. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
ECL used to run for a long term. I think uh, it still does. I think, but like I'm not gonna give a right exact. Okay, yes, no, directly to that,
Mhm.
but I could ask obviously if you're interested in that. But ECL on its own was a lovely project. It was something extraordinary. Like, I would say this as well. ECL was the very, very first Roblox league that literally had its own iPhone app where you could track the scores and
That
basically
wow,
see a match rating for your players.
wow.
And yes, that was heavily invested, and that's also a plan that we want to bring to RFL in the future as well.
That would be interesting. Yeah,
Like,
RFF is already great. That would be
yeah, imagine just
that would be
having almost a OneFootball like app on
yeah.
your phone where you could just check like actual in-game time or like score or like what's happening in the game from an actual
Mhm.
app. So yes,
And hear like live commentary and all that, like
exactly,
Flash Score
exactly.
would.
Exactly, that used to be a thing for ECL, and we
Wow.
actually have tried that with RFL as well. It's currently under prototype, but I could talk about it obviously. In the future,
Mhm.
maybe we'll do something like this, maybe we'll not, because it depends on funding. It is an expensive thing to run an actual
Yeah.
mobile app
Uh,
as well. But yeah, there's been so many ideas that we had from our past that we actually been trying to make things out of. we
mhm.
we're working on it every single day. Like, there's so many things happening in the background that we just can't talk about. But I could say RFL definitely has an exciting future ahead of it. Like, there's so many things are on its way, and I'm confident that we're going to be enjoying more of the game that we currently have in about, I would say, what, 1 or 2 seasons perhaps.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's just how it is. Like, ECL as a project on its own was a really lovely thing, and hopefully, there will be more of it coming soon.
Mhm. I'm not gonna lie, you on that last one and on this one, you answer like two of my two of my questions that I had. So I'm gonna continue on speaking about RFL. You were talking about that app, of course. Do you have any more things? What is coming that you can tell us in the future for RFL? I think we're all hoping for only great things for this league, and you can spark that hope in us.
Of course, I would say a plan of mine that I want to introduce in the future. Like, I've been going on a lot regarding this
Mhm.
to the upper management and everything, and obviously how I want to shape the league. I'm thinking of making this an actual esport more so. Like,
Oh
that's
wow.
where I want to make this even more public than how it could be at the moment. It's like, our small little thing, but obviously RFL could grow into an actual sport. It's a team sport after all, it's football.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, obviously we're offering, like, what, cash prizes, items, etc. We
Mhm.
have our own sponsorships. This could have its own, I would say, FIFA FIFA World Cup type of thing of
Exactly. That
RFL.
would be awesome.
Yeah,
That's a
and
great idea.
we have like what I want to do is actually called, I would say, similar to what Riot Games has as its esports let's say brackets, pretty much, where I'm considering, like, for example, a 3 league global divide. 3 league,
Mhm.
about 20 teams, maybe less, maybe 12, maybe 15ish. But what will these 3 leagues will be based off is their regions. So consider this: 12 teams from Europe, 12 teams from Americas, 12 teams from Asia,
All right.
all competing for a grand prize. And eventually, with tournaments in between, there will be the league system obviously continuing throughout the year. But about 3 or 4 tournaments to be just put in between, where I basically want this model to, because I think there is a lot that we could just do with RFL. Like, we are just basing it off of the standard model that so many leagues have been using, and real football is on its own moniker and pretty much own description. We are here to basically change what we define as Roblox. we are pushing the realities, the next level of what you could do out of just a Lego brick. Literally, everything just starts from a small part, and what you do about it is just pretty much what defines you. Do you want to be stuck into your own boundaries, or do you want to go out there and create something that has never been done before? And that's what real football lives about. We want to make things, I would say, out of the box, out of the ordinary. And that's what I think what we did with real football has kind of set us apart, because of how the gameplay was different, how the approach was different.
The other role football games, yes.
Exactly. When you compare it to like all of them, what real football did at the time, I would say, was necessary, because it breathed a fresh air into the industry, I would say. Is it okay if I, take Sui's answers?
No, of course, yeah. Bisui is saying that many people think RFL will die after another season. What's your take on that?
I personally do not think that, but the reason that they might be saying this is because of how there is constant drama, there is constant step-ups, always some new type of action every day. Here's the thing. Real football will develop even more every day. Not every day pretty much, but like I would say occasionally, when the time is right, we're just gonna make things even far better than what you think of. If you've seen like this is it. This ain't it. This ain't it. There's just so much more that you could just like expect from us. For example, I think Bisui has not seen our latest sneak where we're not going to be working on R15s anymore, or like the current models anymore. We're turning ourselves into actual human beings. Like this will be, imagine like your own character.
Yeah.
Imagine how cool that is. It feels like you're going to be playing pro clubs almost. It might as well, and we're just pushing the boundaries that you know. And obviously it's just gonna be only gonna be getting better, because there's no limits to what you could do. All we want to do is just provide something that has not been done before, and I think we're pretty much on our way to doing it.
That's awesome. I was gonna ask one thing about that. Yeah, you have not asked. Just say you have seen. You do see the most recent games of Roblox, and they're just completely changing the atmosphere, and that's basically what real football does. Because you see, the other games, MPS even, they're kind of just stuck movements, and this is just flow. It's completely different. That it basically just changes this whole game. Now, Exage, you ate basically two of my questions, like I already said. So I'm gonna ask one that's you, and that a lot of people might ponder in Roblox and in Discord. Why the duck?
The duck has been pretty much a symbol for me. Not symbol, my bad. A symbol. But yeah, it's been around with me for a long while. I've been, going around with the bath duck. Look for pretty precise, and just embodying myself like that. It's a fun little toy for some. Sometimes it's a fun little animal. Not exactly the bath duck, but ducks in general. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a calm animal on its own, just minding its own business. Doing it used to be a frog before as well.
Oh, wow.
similar to Heroes, yeah, like there used to be a frog before.
Interesting.
Like I have a thing for animals. I like them. Animals are really cool in general, and duck was one of my favorite animals. So definitely happy to be the duck of RFL, I would say, and that's just how it stuck around. I've seen people do like my outfits and everything, and I'm kind of glad it's like the community giving back to you in that matter, and I'm loving it. Duck has a history pretty much about For me, it has been around since I would say 2018, so almost 6 years, pretty much, maybe even 7 at this point.
This is a part of you now.
Pretty much, it has become a part of my identity, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
that's how it's been.
yeah, Exage. That's all from me. The whatever. Now here's the time. I always give everybody whatever you want to say to one specific person, to the community in general. Anything that I haven't asked, that I maybe have asked. Whatever you want to say, speak your heart out, man. This is your time. Go on.
I mean, all I want to say is enjoy what you guys are doing. Enjoy your time here because we're working so hard, spending our days, hours, minutes, every single second. Our effort is to make sure that you're enjoying a game, that you're wasting your time. And definitely, time is money for a reason. You can't get time back. And as long as we're worthy of that time, that means we are doing our jobs right. I don't want to, make a game where someone would just, be playing this out of just because of boredom and everything, and just want to be entertained. No, because you guys are valuing your efforts to us. You guys are basically the reason that some of us have a livelihood. I'm not even joking. Like I said, Cammy pays his rent from RFL money. So like Jamie gets his gas money from RFL too. So I would say like RFL has been a life-changing experience for most of the people that just that 8 person group that how it started out. But definitely, if we're worthy of the people that is playing the league right now, playing the game right now, all the 74k people pretty much, and the 2k people in RFL, that means we're doing our jobs right. As long as you're considering your valuable time for this game and being a part of the community, it means that there is something that we're doing right. And I'm happy to be a part of pretty much the experience for everyone involved within RFL. And if I'm able to, I would say in Turkish we have something called, if we could have our own salt in the soup, which means like our own little player, that means I'm doing my job right. And I'm thanking you for your time and pretty much your interest in inviting me to this program. And
Of course.
obviously there will be more things to come. Expect more of us in the future.
Exactly.
At the moment, it's been pretty still. That's why I could say like Sui will say like, oh, RFL will die in the next season. Obviously, you're gonna be saying that because you haven't seen much yet, my friend. There's a lot to see. What are your thoughts about Extra Time Italy? You guys are absolutely killing it. Like the media, I would say, Cami considers Italy as a priceless gem for the media community on its own.
Oh.
Yeah, like on its own, Italy has been absolutely on fire, and there has been no holding them back. It's been a lovely thing, and how it took off was absolutely incredible. And like, meanwhile, I'm smoking as well, so don't mind me.
Don't worry.
Yeah, but like in general, what Extra Time Italy does is just extraordinary. They're thinking outside the box, like just like how we want to, have things around here as well.
Yeah.
Because that's just what we live by. We're pushing the boundaries of Roblox pretty much. How better could it get? And that's what you guys are doing. Like live streams, programs, media work, GFX, renders, everything has been outstanding. Real football show, exactly. I mean, on its own, Roblox is global in every matter. Whatever, it's like people unite under one common cause in fun and pretty much football here. If you didn't love football, would you be even be here, Sui, or for example you, Johnny?
Yeah, exactly.
Simple enough. We all have one common goal. Football unites us, and that's what we all need to remember in general. There's sports that unites us, communities get together as one under their own twists, I would say. That's how like MPS was born. PRS became a thing of its own. RF became a thing of its own. There's been many communities like iForce, for example, from old times. REL, like these are all their own twists on how football could be approached and how it all could be improved within the industry itself. ECL, obviously, ECL had the biggest turn, I would say, because no one was providing the matchday experience as ECL would, and that plays a huge role in our identity because of how Kemi, the chairman of itself of the entire thing, wanted to make real football arguably the best possible game out there. Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna wrap it up because you're kind of getting annoyed about it. Thank you for your time and everything.
Exage, it's been a pleasure to have you. This is probably our longest episode. I haven't even taken time into consideration because this has just been great. That's all from you. That's all from me. I'm Johnny P, and I'll see you all next time.